Here we have a detachable night vision module you can move from scope to scope without re-zeroing. It's the OneLeaf.Ai NV100. Let's find out more and see if it's right for you. Intro time! Hey, what do you think of that new faster intro? We're not here to see the same long intro over and over, so I shortened it for you. Everybody has short attention span these days. Hope you like it and give me a thumbs up if you do. If you've been following me either here or on YouTube or on Instagram, you may know that I own a small hobby farm. We have your typical livestock, chickens, goats, and with animals comes pests. We've got rats in the chicken coop, rats in the goat barn. They enjoy the feed, they burrow underneath the structure, and they make themselves right at home. We don't believe in using poison for a few reasons, but that's another topic. Snap traps can catch chicken feet and are annoying and messy, and I personally like to use my air rifles to take them out whenever I can. However, these little buggers are elusive and smarter than most people give them credit for. They rarely come out when the lights are on and when the sun is out, and they're mostly active in the dark. I've been wanting a night vision setup since I moved to the farm, and thanks to the folks over at OneLeaf.Ai, I've now got myself the NV100 Commander. They reached out to me and I quickly said yes to putting a video together for you guys. Now, I've seen plenty of video on the PARD system, which is somewhat similar to this, and the ATN full scope and setup. There's quite a lot of differences between those two. The ATM scope, you put on one rifle and you leave it typically and use it for your night hunting or pesting. The OneLeaf NV100 fits on any rifle on any scope, so you can use it in a multitude of applications and never have to re-zero your scope. That right there is the best benefit besides it being affordable, usable, and fun as hell. Here in British Columbia, Canada, hunting is prohibited 1 hour after sunset on any day until 1 hour before sunrise of the day following. However, pesting rats is not really a hunting application, and I typically fall within these time restrictions anyways. I do not promote any illegal hunting activity, so check your local laws. One thing I've learned, this uses a CMOS sensor, which is the exact same sensor in the camera Canon DSLR that I use. This one uses a Sony StarViz CMOS sensor, while the Canon uses its own APS-C CMOS sensor. With the help of an illuminator, you can see in the dark. The sensor picks up the very slight IR light and projects an image to the display inside the eyepiece. This is a little tough on the eyes, having one bright eye and one eye in the dark, but you kind of get used to it. Thermal detection is much different than this. It uses sensors to detect the difference in heat, where this type of night vision just captures the image using a very sensitive sensor, like a camera. For me, I feel like a kid in a candy store having this type of technology at my disposal. It really improves my chances of putting a damper on the pest problem that we have. It also helps me if I'm getting rid of any aggressive predators with my livestock. We usually lose quite a few chickens every year to various predators. The IR has 6 different settings, and the beam is focusable. There is focus on the eyepiece and focus on the camera itself. It features a headphone jack, external battery pack port, 32GB card comes with the package if you can believe it, and no errors from this memory card yet throughout all my use. I don't run the battery long enough to need that much charging. I'm out in the barn, I set up, I take my first shot, I scare every other rat away back into their hiding spots, and then I'm done for that session. If I'm lucky, I may get a curious guy that's hiding up in the rafters just to look down and see what the commotion was. My screen isn't really on for more than 10 to 15 minutes at a time. However, I've read and watched other reviews that show that this lasts a really long time. Unfortunately, at the timing of filming this review, I wasn't getting a lot of action from the rats. The sun is up at 5 a.m. and not dark until I'm asleep on the couch in the evenings. Anyways, I will get more time with it and report back later. The menu system that's built into this is very easy to use. It has tons of options including brightness, sharpness, etc. There's lots of control within the menu system, and if you have the time, you can dial in the perfect image for your setup. If you're a hunter and you have spare batteries, fix it all up at camp when you're bored and outside in the elements. I'm gonna say this now. This is well worth the money you'll pay for one of these. I've been considering buying the ATN 4K Pro up here in Canada, and it's $950. But I may not want to bother with buying that with this unit in hand. It does what I want it to do. It improves my chances with the rats. Prior to this, I would just go into the goats, turn on the lights, hope a brave rat would want to munch on some fresh food. Now I can sneak up on them in the dark. And for $299.95 USD, it's well worth that improvement of my chances. But it's your money, it's your call, but I like this thing. Let's get back to the daylight footage. It's a bit fuzzy, but clear enough for pesting. And it does seem to have a very short focal length, so you just have to adjust your distances well. However, once again, for the price point and the fact I can still do what I need to do in the dark, is perfectly good for the money. And as you can see from some of the footage, I struggled a little to get the perfect image at first, but with some time and adjustment, I was able to clear it up a lot. I wish I had bought one of these years ago. The fact that I can pop it in from scope to scope without having to re-zero it makes it a little bit more enjoyable and efficient. Now, a couple of things that I don't really like. One is the fact that they haven't got a better bracket system, and I have to use electrical tape on my scopes to adjust. But again, cost and night vision capabilities outweigh the little bit of tape I have to use. And the second thing would be, is you really need to fiddle with this to get a super clear image. It would be great to add a version with an autofocus. I mean, the technology is out there. If you have nighttime pesting to take care of and not a lot of budget, this is a perfect starter night vision package. And I love the fact that I can mount it on any rifle without re-zeroing anything. To check out more information on their website, www.OneLeaf.Ai. That's it. I'm out. Subscribe and all that jazz.